Welcome back, Officers of the Republic. Is your Coruscant Underworld Police Chief AP Gaines here, and a lot of people ask me, like on live streams, Discord, comment section, can you review my roster? And while I do a bunch of them one-on-one with a specific person, I don't make YouTube videos about them that often anymore. I'm going to help you guys identify how you can tell if your roster is any good or not. So I'm going to hop into my girlfriend's account. I'm going to use this because it has more pixels than the one I use for my account. So we have Nicole's account right here. She's a new free-to-play player, been playing since probably the last couple days of November, so however many months that's been. Obviously her account's going to look a lot better than newer players who are in the same time frame, just because she got into a guild where she could do raids and participate a little bit in territory battles and stuff like that, territory wars. So if your account doesn't look like hers at this point, don't worry too much. She's obviously advanced because of that aspect. But some things we can identify a good and bad account from. We're going to go through hers. We're going to go through a couple of random people on her allies list. So if you're an ally of Nicole's, congratulations. You could have a spontaneous cameo, I guess, on the video. So when you're a newer player, it's very important to know that you need three offensive, three defensive teams. Three offensive teams that can get high banners, three defensive teams that can get a couple of holds, maybe strip some banners, and then two ships. So right off the bat, we notice that she has a character who is high relic. She only has one character above gear 12. It is a Relic Vader with Merciless Massacre. This is always a great investment for all of you guys. Some people have weird first relics. You want a character whose relic by themselves can be a one-man army. That's why I always recommend Merciless Massacre as the first Zeta and Darth Vader as the first relic. It just makes the most sense, gives you the most viability in terms of Grand Arena. Now we're going to hop into her squad. She has a hallmark of a good free-to-play early account is you have defined squads. She has a defined Padme squad, a Jedi squad. Ignore Traya. Obviously, she's going to have Traya Zeta a lot sooner than a couple of other people because she's, doing raids and stuff like that. A CLS team with Han Solo and Chewbacca, a Bounty Hunter team, a Geonosian team, and then she has Karth can be 7 stars. Once she gears them up, she'll have a Darth Revan team. So she has defined squads. Now, are they all geared up? I mean, they're good enough gear for where they are, but, theoretically, as she progresses, these teams are going to need to get more and more gear. But she has defined squads. Now, another thing we need to look at is, outside of defined squads, do we have a bunch of filler characters that aren't being used at, decent levels and gear levels and stuff like that? So, if you scroll down, we see she uses most all of these characters in squads, and then we get to a point like right here, where these aren't characters that are being used in her squad. She obviously has a couple like Ty and Bo-Katan and armor that she doesn't use. Snowtrooper, for instance, Zeb. But other than that, it's just all level 1 characters. A couple of, higher levels just because they're used for events and stuff like that. Wat Tambor, obviously, you guys aren't going to have. And then level 1 characters down here. A hallmark of a good account, obviously, is a level 69 cup. So while she does have stars, because she loves to unlock these characters, she hasn't put too many resources in it. Not so much to bloat the account, but just to waste credits and stuff like that. A lot of things I see from early players is, Nicole's account has, like 30 million credits or something like that. My account has like 300 million credits. People are always asking, like, how do you have so many credits? Well, mods is one thing, but you have to think, if she's just level 85ing random characters, she's wasting 7 million basically for each character, which is not sustainable. Like if she's like, you know what, I don't use who did I just click on? If I don't use Geonosian Spy that often, but let's just see if I were to level 85, 5 extra million credits right there just to get up to level 85 a character that doesn't use that much. So that's more of the reason now, because the GAC changes. It's not going to be so much the GP inflation, but rather the resources allocated to those characters. Now let's hop into her allies. Let's manage. Let's just do Solace because I know who this is. He is the leader of my admins on my Discord server. 2.6 million GP. As you can see, he has characters who are in defined teams. They're high value characters with high allocated resources to them. Relic 7 Vader, Relic 7 Darth Revan, Relic 7 Malak, Jedi Revan, CLS, Bastila Shan, stuff like this. Excuse me. Not sure about the Barriss Solace. I don't know what you're doing here, but he has characters that are useful in squads, resources allocated in a good way. Other characters who are at usable stages, like some of these characters should be higher theoretically, but they're usable stages. And then as we drop off to a point where, you know, he's not really using most of these teams. He's got a lot of level 85s, but he does drop off into the level 1s quite early. Solace, what the hell is this, man? How can you lead the 69th precinct with a 68 cup? I think I might have to fire you. Drop a comment if we should fire Solace at this point. Kind of ridiculous. Also, if you've made it this far, consider subscribing. It really helps out. We're trying to get 5,000 subscribers by the end of May. If that's something you want to be a part of, awesome. If not, no big deal. But you see he drops off to level 1 characters and he doesn't waste too many. For him, it's not gonna, credits aren't going to be that big of a deal, but as he was progressing up, maybe they were. So this is a hallmark of someone who took the game and did good stuff early on. Obviously, characters that need to bump up. Let's check out another account. I'm just gonna go. I recognize all of these names pretty. Let's just take Rick the Stick. Let's take Rick the Stick. Let's see what Rick the Stick's account. Okay, sub 2 million GP. He has relics allocated to usable characters in a similar situation. Good gear on characters that are useful, and then a little bit of these level 70s, which is serviceable because these are characters you need for events, and then it drops off a level 69 cup, of course, and it drops off into level 1 characters. He's obviously not wasting resources. Now, something you have to look out for is occasionally people will overgear or over-relic characters that aren't useful. Like, for instance, if you happen to have a relic Cad Bane, for instance, you'd say, well, would that relic be more useful on a different character? If you can identify a character that would be more useful with that relic, I mean, all of these up here are probably perfect candidates. Then you know you've misused your resources. Let's quickly do one more. I've seen some pretty good names. Let's just choose a random guy who I don't, whose name I don't recognize. Let's do. I have, you know, like 50 Aidens in my live stream chat, so this is probably one of them. Almost 5 million GP. He has relics on good characters. Once you're like at a little bit over 3 million GP, you should progress towards a Galactic Legend. He obviously is well past that. He has himself a Galactic Legend at Relic 8. Ultimate ability, stuff like that. So he's done good due diligence in terms of knowing when to farm teams up. He has great relics and characters that aren't used very often but are usable characters or at decent gears. Some characters that should be higher are not up, but that's no big deal. And it drops off into these level 1 characters. Of the 50 Aidens, I don't know which one of these, which one of you guys this is. This is unacceptable. Let's change that. All right, guys. So hopefully that was helpful. Just to quickly recap, if you're a newer player, you want to make sure you have enough teams that can get high banners, teams with recovery. You want to allocate your resources when at all possible to usable and useful characters. You don't want to waste credits early because that can put you in a bind when you unlock newer and better characters. Like for Nicole, for instance, she just unlocked Chewbacca like a week or two ago, and she didn't bother leveling him up, but she saved credits so that now she has Chewbacca ready to go for this GAC round. She had enough credits and gear to put on him, get him up to Gear 7, Gear 8, a usable area for Division 10 or Division 11, whichever one she's in now that the GAC change has gone into effect. And she's able to allocate those resources. We looked at some other accounts where they have relics on characters that are useful. They have defined teams, stuff like that. So drop a comment if you enjoyed the video. As always, I love you guys. Consider joining the 69th Precinct, and I'll see you later.